The Indianapolis Colts are at war with running back Jonathan Taylor, who has requested a trade, in part because he wants a new contract, and maybe in part because Colts owner Jim Irsay has issued a series of mind-numbing quotes about death and this situation. Mike Fisher reporting on the NFL and the Dallas Cowboys. Meanwhile, the Cowboys have had their running back issues. Ezekiel Elliott released. Ronald Jones now with a 2-game suspension. Tony Pollard going to be the number one guy, and that should be fine. But I don't blame anybody for on the surface saying, now, wait a minute, Jonathan Taylor's available. Hey, how do we do that? They're going to trade him. He wants out. How do we do it? Every team should take a minute to contemplate how to steal Jonathan Taylor from Jim Irsay. But then should come minute number 2, at which point logic should enter the conversation. Unless you are an ESPN hot take talking head. Dan Orlovsky, who actually played the game at the highest level at quarterback, is at it again as the ESPN TV guys are now spending the days seeing which one of them can say something more outrageous than their predecessor, especially about the Dallas Cowboys. Orlovsky is proposing a trade. The Cowboys should call the Colts and they should take Jonathan Taylor. Said that on the Pat McAfee show. And I think McAfee tried to talk some sense into him, and Orlovsky just kept going. He said, it's $4 million for this year. He says, I know Dallas has money issues, but if you're the Cowboys, you got to be all in. Orlovsky says, I don't know what the pick would be and all that stuff. That's not my area of expertise, but I would call. Enter somebody that knows what they're talking about. This is ESPN ignorance at its highest, well, lowest. And we'll do this item by item by item. Item. Orlovsky did not and does not seem to understand that if Taylor's unhappy with his $4 million salary in 2022 with the Colts, he'll be unhappy making $4 million for the next team too. So the idea of a one-team rental is not going to make anybody happy. Item. Orlovsky does not seem to understand that Dallas does not have money problems. I don't know why people keep saying this when you can click a button and see that the Cowboys have $20 million in cap room. That, by the way, is number 4 in the NFL. They have the 4th most cap room today in the NFL. That's even after having signed Trayvon Diggs to his almost $100 million deal. If they extend Dak Prescott, by the way, they can have $40 million worth of room. Now, much of that is earmarked for other stars, but any team can sign anybody that they want to at any time in terms of salary cap availability, and the Cowboys are absolutely and obviously no different, and the numbers say it so. However, the Cowboys don't want to pay $10 million to 2 running backs. That's what Tony Pollard makes. No team pays $10 million, or if rumors are true about Jonathan Taylor, maybe he wants $15 million. No team's going to pay a backup running back $10 or $15 million, or a share time running back $10 or $15 million. That's preposterous. You wouldn't do that in a non-salary cap sport or a non-salary cap era. It's laughable to think otherwise. If Jonathan Taylor comes to Dallas, let's, in theory, say he's better than Tony Pollard. So now you have a backup running back making $10 million? It's ridiculous. Item. Orlovsky seems convinced that the Colts are trading Taylor. To me, that's a dubious claim. But in the next breath, he notes that he doesn't know anything about the trade cost, which to me, I would say would be a premium draft pick for starters. It's not my area of expertise, to which I reply, apparently not. Apparently trading for Jonathan Taylor is not your area of expertise. Taylor led the NFL in rushing 2 seasons ago, 1,800 yards. 18 touchdowns, first team All-Pro, age 24, might be the best running back in football. And on the surface, every team would love to employ him. On the surface, the Dallas Cowboys and every team would love to employ him. There's reasons for other teams to call. There's reasons for the Patriots to call. There's reasons for the Bills to do their research. There's reason for the Commanders to do the research. There's reason for the Rams to do their... All of them should think about it. Take a minute and think about it. On the surface, too bad ESPN's hot take talking heads seem so incapable of researching, thinking, and communicating even an inch below that aforementioned surface. Fish out.